Hi, my name is Peter Defty, and I'm the developer of the Optimized Fat Metabolism Program, or OFM for short. And today, I'd like to share with you some of the guiding principles of OFM. And the first thing to start with is my cornerstone, or that foundation. And that is a question that I continually go back to and use as that sort of anchor point for OFM. And that is, what were the evolutionary pressures that shaped us as humans? Because when you look at the anthropological record, when you look at evolutionary biology and physiology and look at natural systems, the whole system, and that chaotic elegance of how natural systems evolve and group up and come into this amazing order without doing any calculations, without collecting data. Nature knows how to just do it. Our bodies were shaped by that. You know, nobody was counting calories or calculating their macros when they killed an animal. We just knew what to do. Other animals know what to do. And that is sort of that anchor point, because that natural system, looking at it from that perspective, everything makes sense. And I've got three basic premises that I also look to that kind of make OFM what it is. The first one is, you are an individual. You are not a commodity. And unfortunately, we've been sold and told this idea that you are an individual, but you're part of this tribe, or you're keto, or you're paleo, or you do this exercise, or I'm an Ironman, or an ultra runner, or I do CrossFit. And that's our way of identifying with our individuality, but yet we're becoming a commodity. Now, why is this? Well, part of it lies in that part that while we want to be an individual, we also want to belong. We're social animals, but yet we also are individuals. But when we're talking about you and your physiology and getting you to that optimal health and performance potential, you're an individual. And unfortunately, a lot of this dietary or exercise or lifestyle advice that's being sold to you is commoditized. And even though they make you feel like a special snowflake while they're selling you on this, they're actually commoditizing you. And why is this? Because there's no money in the individual. You can't build a really profitable business model on individuals, because individuals take time. You can't replicate individuals. And it's all about replication. Now, with OFM, we try to take our program and individualize it for you rather than try to make you fit into the program. Consistencies in physiology, but when you add up all the variables, including your genetics that you have in your life, it's very individualized. So OFM is very individualized. Now, the second key guiding point for OFM is that we are meant to metabolize fat aerobically, with glucose and glycogen being our fight or flight, our upper aerobic, anaerobic spectrum energy source. And we humans, in our human engineering and our human ingenuity, have taken ourselves far afield of that ability to metabolize fat at both high rates and high intensities. And this is something that the FASTER study actually showed, that humans actually are able to burn high rates of fat at high intensities, much higher than the previous science to that study said was even possible. And by the way, most of that low-carb diet cohort don't do straight keto in the real world of training and racing. Those guys actually are doing a version of OFM and using the Vespa product. Remember that. Now, the third point is we are meant to move a lot. I'm not talking about that standard issue recommendation of 30 to 45 minutes a day. I'm talking that we're meant to be physically active for hours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, even 6 hours or more. We're meant to move a lot. It doesn't mean you're running a marathon or an ultra marathon or a century bike ride or some other event. It just means you got to get moving, and you got to be able to do physical activity without needing to eat, without bonking, and without being laid up on the couch for the next 3 days. That's what I'm talking about. That's the starting point. Of course, our athletes are doing ultra endurance, they're doing OCR, they're doing CrossFit, and they're crushing it. And it's great because when you stress yourself, you're creating an adaptive stress. And on a fat-based physiology, that adaptive stress really pays huge dividends in terms of adapting to get stronger, fitter, and be able to not only perform, but be healthier. So those are the 3 main points. You are an individual. We're meant to metabolize fat aerobically, and we're meant to move a lot. And this is all grounded in this little thing called evolution and nature. And that's how we base OFM. Thanks very much for listening. We look forward to working with you.